Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christy Murphy. I'm the Chief Marketing and Membership Officer at the Canadian Physiotherapy Association. Before I get into the script that they've written for me, I'm going to apologize in advance for any dog snoring happening in the background, and thank everybody for taking the time to be with us. This afternoon, we're taking a closer look at two Tele-Rehab tools offered to CPA members. We want to acknowledge that this is a new space for many physiotherapists as we adjust to the new COVID-19 reality. And before we kick off, we also want to recognize all of the options that physiotherapists have available to them, which are listed on our website, physiotherapy.ca/COVID-19. We're really proud of our long-term partnerships with Physiotech and Clinicmaster, and we're using today to highlight offers they're making available exclusively to the CPA membership. However, physiotherapists can also access other tools that are helping the profession, from Embodia, PhysiTrack, Physio, Medicine. There's a whole list on our site. In addition to finding the tool that works best for you and your practice, we really encourage members to consult with their regulatory body and ensure that you're informed and prepared to provide virtual care, keeping patient safety, risk management, privacy, and consent at the forefront of your decision making. In addition, we want to recognize that we are getting an onslaught of conversations with our members asking us about getting third-party payer coverage for virtual care, and that's something that our advocacy team is working on, and we'll be sharing more information about that later this week. To begin, I'm going to introduce our speakers, and you'll hear a little bit about their tools. Following that, we'll have them answer some frequently asked questions when it comes to their respective tools. If you have any questions for Christine or Max, please use the chat function at the bottom of your screen, and we'll do our best to address your questions throughout the session. In addition, we will be recording today's webinar, and we'll have it available on CPA's channels. I'd like to introduce our speakers. So Max DiPaola is from Tech Systems. It's a Canadian company headquartered in Laval, Quebec. They began as an information technology company that specialized in ready-for-market product applications, consulting services, and customized application development. However, in 1999, a life-changing event for Max aimed Tech in a different direction, and the outcome was what we're going to talk about, which is Clinicmaster. We also have with us Christine Schmaltz, who works in sales and implementation for Physiotech home exercise program. She's been with Physiotech for 7 years and specializes in account management and customer success. Her focus is to understand her clients' needs and help them improve outcomes. I'm going to turn the session over to Max and then Christine to share a bit about their respective tools. So welcome to both of you. And Max, if you want to kick it off.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you everyone for attending today. I hope you're all well. So I'll just kick it off by telling you what we did urgently in the last few days to just try to help the community as much as possible with everything that's happening. Is we put up a web page really quickly. We extracted from our new cloud product that we're going to be releasing this spring and summer the telehealth capability and made it a standalone application so that everyone can use it, not only Clinicmaster users. What we recommend that you do, if you like what you see and you want to partake, is you go to clinicmaster.com/telehealth. Read through this. There's no obligations really. You can register and one of our team members will contact you and get you registered so you could start using the tool immediately. We're offering free hours every day for everybody to be able to connect with their clients. Beyond the free hours, you would have to pay something. But basically, and it's really like something like 75 cents an hour or something like that. So we tried to make it as affordable as possible to get us all through these trying times. The way the solution would work is we try to make it as simple as possible because we know we're catering to both our clients and to the open community who are not using Clinicmaster. We wanted to try to help everyone. The website will be cmtelehealth.clinicmaster.com. Once you've registered with us, you'd have to give us a bit of time. Our team is going to do the best that they can, but the Premier in Quebec pretty much shut down all businesses as of tomorrow. So we're going to be working, everybody's from their homes. We'll definitely get to everybody this week or in the next day or two to get you registered so you have your own email address and password. Every practitioner will have their own so they can reset their passwords. And basically we try to make it simple so that once you log in, you end up right into the telehealth area. where you could search for a client or create your own client. So this is the use case where you're not using ClinicMaster and you just want to have a HIPAA compliant, PIPEDA compliant, secure communication tool that allows you to have a secured encrypted session with your patient without using a scheduler. So in this case here, you'll be able to create a client, a window pops up where you'd be able to put in the first name, last name, and email address, and the preferred language of a client. Once you do that and hit submit, that client will be saved so that you could search them and use them at any time after the fact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just set up a call with myself. I have one of my employees that's using my cell phone in another room, and I'm going to show you how a telehealth session would work. Once I select the patient, step 2 is just start a telehealth session. So what's going to happen here is that once I've previously defined Max in my system, the name shows up of the patient that we want to contact. When I click telehealth, your patient will receive at the email address that you've entered a secure link for them to click, and they will be able to join the session. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to click on telehealth session. It's going to open up a window and connect with my camera. You should be seeing me soon on my laptop camera. And an email has been sent to Philip, who's in another room, and he should join the session soon. So he's going to get the email, click on the link, and should be here within a few seconds if he heard me. I hope I'm speaking loud enough. He did. So there's Philip. And that's it. So now we're in a secure session. You'll be able to mute the microphone, and Philip on his end could mute his. That's me. That's Philip. It's as simple as that. We can just have a session, have our discussions, and you can continue to work with all the other applications and come back to this window because it's a window that you can navigate. So if you're using ClinicMaster to do your charting or any other application, you can move this off to the side, do your charting, or if you're on 2 screens, and then come back to your patient and have the dialogue. Once you're done, it's as simple as just hanging up the call, and then the call is done, and I'm ready to close this screen and start another telehealth session with someone else. For those of you in the audience that are our clients, we're scrambling to try to make work easier for you so you don't have to create the client. Obviously, if you're not a ClinicMaster client, we don't know your patients. We've done an emergency release yesterday for our clients. It's going to be available as of in the next hour, where you're going to have a My Appointments. So because I've logged in and the system knows who I am and which clinic I work at, when I click on My Appointments, I will see a list of all of my patients for today. I simply find the patient I want to call. I click on the little video session. The patient gets an email, and my telehealth session begins. And that's about it. Once that person connects, we're in session, and we close the call, say okay, and move on to the next patient and generate that call. This is going to be available to all of our clients, as is this for our non-clients. And even if you're one of our clients, you can use this to just call anybody. That's about it. It's as simple as that. And the communication is secured. So I tried to do that quickly to give you time for Q&A. I think I'm done with my part of the presentation.
Perfect. Thanks, Max. Before I hand it over to Christine, I just want to correct a statement I made earlier. It's actually the question and answer box at the bottom of your screen. If you have questions, you guys can send us questions and I'll ask them to Max and Christine as soon as we open the Q&A. So just a reminder that you can use that function. And in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll pass it over to Christine if she wants to take possession of the screen there to talk to us about the Physiotech product.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. This is Christine from Physiotech. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen. 1 second. Perfect. Here we go. So that should be sharing now. Yes, and so Physiotech Home Exercise Program has been a longtime partner with ClinicMaster, so we're very excited that they are addressing this telehealth platform. As far as I know, there will be, if you do use ClinicMaster and Physiotech, somewhat of an integration where you'll be able to use the two together. But now I'll just take you through what you can do for your patients in order to get them access to a home exercise program with pictures, written instructions, and video that they can access at home. So once you're logged into the system here, as I'm already logged in, and you have your client file open, as I do now, you can proceed to go ahead and start to search for the exercises that your patient needs. We have all of the exercises categorized by specialty in one long list like this. So right now I'm in the orthopedics section. You can search for exercises either by typing in keywords. So you could type it in and choose from some options that come up on the drop down. Or you can filter to find the exercises that you need with the check boxes below. So if you would like to find a shoulder pendulum, we can do that. And from the search results that come up, you'll be able to build a home exercise program for your patient. You would just select the ones that you want to work with and hit View Program to carry you over to the next screen. In addition to the exercise library that we have, you could also use pre-made exercise templates. So here under the template list, if I open this up, you can see that we have already preset geriatric, hand therapy, neurology, and orthopedic templates available. So if I just go in and open one of these, it's going to skip over the searching part in the library, and you can just work from this pre-made exercise template. You can select the exercises that you need for that particular patient. You can remove the rest. You can reorganize the exercises. You can make a double if you want that exercise to be in more than one place in the sequence of exercises. And you can apply parameters to the exercises. So you can work in this view. You can also open it and work in a list view. Or you can expand everything so that you can see all of the education that the patient will receive at home. So they're going to have 2 pictures. They're going to have written instructions and a video for every exercise. In here, if you'd like to make changes to the instructions, you can edit the text here, and then you can set that as your default so you don't have to keep changing it. Once you've made all of the changes on the exercise program that you need, then you can go ahead and save that for your patient. And once you save it, you'll be able to send it through email, SMS text message, or printout. I do have a few printouts here to show you what they would look like. And the patients can also print these from home. They're going to have all of the same printing options as you, and everything can be branded to your business. So those are some different options for layouts. The patient will receive an email or an SMS text message. They can access their program online, and this is what the portal looks like once the patient is logged in. So within the home exercise program, they're going to be able to see all of the education, again, the video, and they can track their compliance and their difficulty rating for that exercise. And there are other parameters that we could add as a professional. You could also ask them to track their pain, the amount of time that they're spending, or the exact sets and reps that they were able to complete. The patient can view their tracking log here, so they can keep track of everything that they've done. And the professional can also see back on the program page on the professional side, the review of that tracking. So in here, I'm not actually on the same program that I had open, but if I was, I would be able to see all of the tracking that the patient had done, and I would be able to also come in and identify other parameters that I want my patient to be tracking. Come back. And just for an added bonus, if you make a program and you would like to use that again with other patients, you can also set that as a template for yourself. So when you're back out on the main screen here, you can just go into your personal template list instead of the big company list or the big Physiotech list, and you can use your own pre-made programs with your patients. So yeah, that's what we're providing. We are integrated with ClinicMaster, and you can also use it as a standalone tool. And in addition to that, if we don't have an exercise that you do need, we do provide a service called Exercises on Demand. So those exercises could be requested from our support team, and we'll produce them and add them into the system to make sure you guys have everything that you need. And so that is pretty much
Perfect.
my part. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Christine. So what we'll do now is we're going to transition over to some of the questions that we're getting from our members. So I'm just going to open the floor to Christine and Max, and we can see how you jump in. I think the first one just coming in from Amy that the members are looking for is, can you clarify how the two programs are integrated or relate?
Okay, so I'll just share my screen again. So Physiotech is a software exercise program that we use within ClinicMaster. So what we've done to facilitate things for you is once you've opened up the account with Physiotech, in the search area, you'll be able to click on Physiotech. During the telehealth session, as you recall, the telehealth session opens up in its separate window. So once you click on the telehealth session, this opens up to the side. I can then just move this off to the side, launch Physiotech, so I can start my exercise program within Physiotech and have my call and work together. So as Christine had mentioned, we are a partner with Physiotech, and the two systems will speak to each other once you've activated your Physiotech license and you're starting to use our software. Normally it's done through ClinicMaster. Because we're trying to help everybody to do this quickly, there's going to be some manual work to get you going with this. It may take an extra few hours for our team to coordinate with Physiotech to link your use of the telehealth software with the Physiotech license so that the two are speaking in real time.
Sure. And I'm just going to follow up question. Can you share your screen during a telehealth session, Max?
No, not with this version, not yet. That's a feature that's coming. So what we're doing is we're pulling our team off of our cloud solution for about a week or so. We're going to be augmenting. So we're going to be adding the following capabilities in the days and probably week to come. We'll be adding the ability to have chat, video share, chat, screen sharing. We're not going to add file sharing. And our team is looking also at the possibility, I'm not sure if we'll get it done within the next week or so, to process payment, because we know that a lot of you guys out there are wondering how you're going to get paid for these telehealth sessions. We're going to try to make that simple so that on the patient side of things, if you activate a feature, we're going to augment this. You can put in the amount and the patient will go through a checkout process and allow you to capture payment for your telehealth session. So those are some of the features that you'll see in our telehealth module in the days and weeks coming. So it's not there today, but it will be there tomorrow, the screen share.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Max. A question again for both of you coming from the membership. How can physiotherapists use Tele-Rehab tools in the kind of COVID-19 situation right now? And then how do you see those things kind of living on after the COVID-19 restrictions are lifted?
So I guess in COVID-19, Christine, did you want to jump in? I don't mean to monopolize, but.
Oh, no, you're fine. You can go ahead.
Okay. So COVID-19, I think, is taking everyone by surprise, and I think we're all going to react to it in the best ways that we can. What we're seeing is maybe just being able to follow up, maintain that connection, letting your patients know that you're still there. Providing exercise programs is probably one of the key things that you can do to be able to monitor, as Christine has mentioned, see if they're following up. And then figuring out how you're going to monetize that and collect your fees for the services that you're providing. I wish I could help you more than that, but that's all I have for you now. But beyond COVID-19, as I mentioned when I started my presentation, we firmly believe that telehealth is a part, at least I do, I believe that telehealth is part of the future and should be part of a rehab program to make life easier for your patients. And I believe it should be part of your treatment plan. You all know that patients typically stop coming for treatment but when either funding runs out or pain stops. That's usually often the case. But you may not be getting the outcomes that you want to get from those patients. And I think that if you could intermerse on-site visits with tele-rehab follow-ups and get that as part of the treatment plan, not only are you going to augment your chances of outcome and patient engagement, you can also reduce what it may cost the patient, because you may be able to just allocate a part of your schedule or those times in the day where you're not usually fully booked to telehealth time, and use that as PR, as follow-up, and create that augmented patient experience. So that's how I see it being used beyond. I also see it being used, one of the services that we're going to be releasing with ClinicMaster version 10 is a triage and consultation services. So you'll see that with ClinicMaster, you'll be able to directly from your website, for those of you that want to activate it, is offer consultation. When you want to get that first patient and they call in with that prescription and they're not sure how to go about things and who to call, well, usually we're doing that over the phone. We're seeing Tele-Rehab being able to allow you to triage and to offer live video consultations with practitioners, even out of office hours, if you want to open that directly from your website. So where the patient would click, just as simple as this, they would just, all they'd have to do is type in their first name, last name, and email address and say, I'd like to speak with someone. That falls into a queue. The people monitoring the queue, the multiple practitioners or receptionists, could then see a queue much like this. So it would be a queue of patients that are on the website right now waiting for somebody to speak to them. You can click on the camera, have a live telehealth session to be able to service that patient, perhaps triage that patient, bring them into your clinic or send them to the doctor or hospital, as the case may be. So we really see telehealth being a tool that augments the treatment plan and augments the service that you offer and the experience with your patient and the practitioner in clinic.
That's great. Thanks, Max. Christine, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that from a Physiotech perspective?
I think that Max went over a lot more key points from his perspective with the charting system. So I'm pretty good with everything he went over.
Great. So one question that I know is top of mind for a lot of our members, and we're seeing it a ton in the Q&As right now, is consent forms. Just wondering if either product has a way to capture consent from your audience, or if that's something they have to do beforehand.
So that's part of our, I'll just show you something really quick on Dev 10. Please forgive me. It's really not intended to be a ClinicMaster pitch or sale here at all. But ClinicMaster version 10 in cloud, a lot of other applications like our competitors, Jane and others, are offering this as well. So from a ClinicMaster charting perspective, you will be able to have your patients automatically fill any intake forms or consent forms. There's client forms that your patients could fill in themselves through the application. They'll be able to fill that in, sign in their consents, and you can do that in the triage session. So I didn't mention that earlier. In the triage session that I was referring to earlier, you will be able to, in fact, do all of these things. You'll be able to have a telehealth session. You'll be able to, in a live point in time, share documents. So we've built a whole document infrastructure in ClinicMaster version 10 that you will actually be able to share with your patients, and that could include any type of form: intake form, consent form, survey, outcome questionnaire like a DASH, Berg's Balance, NDI. You'll be able to do that all through the telehealth session, but you can also do that remotely through, in our case, a client portal, NCM, and the web interface, where the practitioner has one interface and the patient has a slightly different interface. I really apologize. I'll just show you this and then stop, because I really didn't want this to be a ClinicMaster demo. But this is the version 10, where the patient has access to any documentations. Now I'm in a patient perspective, where I, as a patient, am uploading my forms, uploading my client information, uploading and signing consent forms, and those are automatically available to the practitioner in their view. And this can all be done through a telehealth session as well. So, we see telehealth, just coming back to the original question, seeing telehealth not only to augment and triage, but to be able to not only talk and see, but we're going to allow you to actually write on the video. So with an ink or with your finger, say, try to touch this point up here, and the patient will be able to extend their arm or their leg to actually touch that area. So we see the video becoming interactive. And during the telehealth session, you'll be able to provide educational content like videos that they can watch and see. So it's an environment that's going to continue to evolve to be able to augment that service, patient education, and obviously compliance to the full treatment plan.
Great, thanks for that, Max.
You're welcome.
There is a question here specifically for Christine. Christine is wondering if there are outcome measures or education sheets on Physiotech, or if it's mostly sticking to the screens that we saw.
Yes, so currently our system is focused on the home exercise program itself. We have, however, started already to invest in patient education sheets. Those are in development, so it won't be very long. We're just looking for the right way to attach them properly to programs, and those will be coming soon. We are now collecting the data for compliance and those things. So when your patient is tracking themselves, all of that information will be used in an outcome measurement form, but we will be setting up focus groups in order to see how best to display that information to you guys on the end user.
Awesome, thanks for that. Okay, another question that we have here. Just looking for, do you guys have any feedback that you've received from physiotherapists who are currently using your platform? Maybe Christine, we can start with you about how their patients are feeling about using telehealth and this exercise program.
Well, our program, so far, people have been reaching out to us because they're now working remotely and at home, and a lot of them may not actually have set up a telehealth program just yet. They're kind of looking at all their options right now. So the patient is able to receive their home exercise program via SMS or text message. So the patients seem quite happy with that interface, and I think paired with what we've seen today from what Clinicmaster has developed is going to be even that much more powerful with what we're able to provide for patient education. So the outcomes look good for this tool right now.
Great. Max, did you have any, kind of feedback that you've received from physiotherapists about how their patients feel using virtual care?
We don't have too many clients using it live right now. We have a few actually in Quebec City that are using the telehealth platform. Actually, our older platform, not the one that I was showing earlier. They're using it in the context that I've mentioned. It's really right now either as a triage tool or to complement, especially when you're going to provide an exercise program or just want to follow up with the patient, and the patient is at a distance from the clinic. It's just that extra level of service. So it's really at that stage. As telehealth advances and the capabilities advance, I think we can all get more creative. We as developers are open to speaking with the community to find out how you see it. But right now, the clients that we know are using it, I know of 2 that are using it regularly. They're using it as a complementary tool to augment their interaction with the patient and the outcomes, just as a check-in tool.
That's great. We do have a few specific questions for each of you. So I'm just going to hit Max with a few, and then Christine will jump back to you. Max, do you guys have a timeline on when version 10 will be released?
Yeah, I was wondering if someone's do that in the spring.
Just to put some pressure on you.
So do that with the spring. I mean, version 10 is, I'm so excited about it. Our clients have been waiting forever to get it. It's an amazing version of our product. It looks like we were hoping to do it early spring. It looks like it's going to be late spring. Probably end of May, early June is the timeline for us to release a 100% cloud platform. But I don't want to make it all about Clinicmaster right now, but it's not only going to be cloud, it's going to be cloud and or desktop. So we have interfaces for all users. So admin staff can still use a desktop application, but all data is in the cloud. There's nothing in the clinic. the timeline is really probably going to be closer to end of May, June. We're a couple of months away. We don't see COVID impacting us too horribly, because we've been, unfortunately for everyone, getting ready for this. Right now, all of the team is still developing and everyone's remotely doing so. So we should be able to continue developing full throttle.
Great. There is some questions about the hourly package for ClinicMaster. And like I said, then I'm going to jump back over to Physiotech. Can you clarify the offer to CPA members and how that's working, Max?
Yeah, so we wanted to really, to be totally transparent, we wanted to show a little difference between people that are paying ClinicMaster and those that are not. So it's really 4 free hours per day for the clinic, so that you're not charged if you're a ClinicMaster client, and 3 free hours per day for the next 30 days or the foreseeable future at least. We'll see what happens with COVID. And then 75 cents an hour. So that's the total usage. So we'll pay for the first 3 hours. We have to pay the telephone providers and the connection providers or servers and bandwidth requirements for this. So we're going to eat the bill for as many thousands of users or clinics that hop on board. So that's how it works. So if typically a telehealth session would be 10 or 15 minutes. So 3 free hours will give you, if 10 minutes, it's 6 patients an hour. So your first 18 patients a day will be free. And then after that, it's 75 cents an hour. So every 6 patients is about 75 cents. So that's the offer that we're offering to non-ClinicMaster users. And for ClinicMaster users, they just simply get an extra hour.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
Christine, there was quite a few questions about different types of exercise for, babies, or I know that there was some on the list that you showed us, like neurology and hands. Can you talk to us a little bit more about how those exercises are divided out?
Yes, and I can actually share my screen again. One second.
I just gave it back to you there.
Let's see. There we go. So I actually did do a search for torticollis for pediatric section because I did notice there was a question there specifically. So each section is broken down in this list of modules here. So all I did was I went to our pediatric section in the list, and then I keyword typed the exercises that were requested, and then these are the ones that come up. So from this list, you can build your program. You can also click to open the exercise and see the details right from here. The pictures and the video. So we do have quite a range. So from pediatrics to geriatrics and everything in between of exercises. I don't know if there were any other specific types of exercises in this questions that people wanted to see. I noticed that question.
I don't see any other ones, but I think that's a good example of the kind of how robust the search engine is. It's great.
Yes, and we work with professionals in every specialty. So we have quite a large team of educators from around the world that we work with our exercise team to develop this content. And plus, when we do get a request from our users, then we'll get to work on producing that content to make it available for everyone.
That's great. So I'm just cautious of time. We did say this would be a kind of quick and dirty half an hour webinar. So what I'm going to do is just maybe in closing, if each of you could provide, whether it's a piece of advice for physiotherapists embracing remote technology, is there anything that you guys would like to kind of say in closing as people are considering their options given the current landscape?
I'm not sure that I can say very much, and that except to say, don't shrug it or push it away. I think what we're learning from this experience shows the importance of being able to work remotely. I would recommend that everybody keep an open mind and look at how they can bring Tele-Rehab into their treatment plan. I think the patient and practitioner will be better for it. at the very least, you'll have that connection and build that customer relationship that is so critical to success for a practitioner, and get those outcomes, and really be easy to do business with. So at the very least, look at it that way. I really believe that Tele-Rehab can assist with better outcomes, but I'm not a practitioner. I think it's for you guys to see how you can best intermix that with what you do best. So I think that's all I really can add to that, Christine.
Yes, I think you said it really well. I think it's a different time we're living in, and this epidemic is really challenging us to push our limits and to look at what else we can do. And so the better we can embrace these new tools, I think, and move forward, then it's going to be better for us in the long run, and for all of you professionals out there that are working very hard to provide treatment. So that's what I think.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And thanks for a really insightful session and letting us take a look at your tools. I know we didn't get to every question on the list. We still had a few of them open there. So for moving forward, if you have any additional questions for Christine about Physiotech, you can contact her at Christine, which is spelled CHRISTINE @physiotech.org. They also have a number that you can call 1-866-301-3439. When these webinars get posted, we'll make sure all of those contact details are in the description. If you have additional questions for Max, I know there was quite a few Clinicmaster specific questions. You can contact Max at Addatech, ADDATECH.ca, or phone number 450-682-8674. You can also reach the CPA for questions about telehealth or anything else at information@physiotherapy.ca. We are happy to respond to your questions as soon as possible, but I'm sure similar to both Physiotech and Clinicmaster are experiencing a bit of a backlog in the current situation. So we will do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. And please continue to check out all of the CPA's COVID-19 resources at physiotherapy.ca/COVID-19. We keep all of our latest information there, and this webinar will be posted there either later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. We do have another webinar happening tonight, which is a French-speaking webinar on a case study for somebody using Tele-Rehab. So really good opportunity to speak with a practitioner who's been using the technology. And I'd like to take this final moment to sincerely thank Max and Christine for participating and answering the members' questions. I hope everybody who is listening found value in this session and can make use of this information during these trying times. Thanks very much, and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.